You heard that before, prime your subconscious mind, believe you can do it and you can do it, like all these sort of things. This is basically the essence of doing it, because you won't feel anything today, you won't feel anything tomorrow, you probably won't feel anything next year. But I promise you, when you start doing that year after year, like you see your life starts changing just alone from that.
What's up, man? Second point is
let me ask you, how would your life be different without any mental roadblocks?
It's a little bit like what we talked about on last call there. It really is about, as you said, that looking at it from an objective perspective in terms of like listening to yourself in the feelings and the emotions, because a lot of the things you're doing right now is very, very objective, right? So you gotta really be able to disconnect yourself from it. It's just not a natural thing for us human beings not to have emotions and feeling invested in the things that we're doing, and oftentimes the emotion and the feelings are speaking louder than what actually the truth is in the situation. And that's what we sometimes can get blinded off. So this is why journaling is such a powerful tool, because it's just direct your focus. You know what I mean? Like you feel that. You feel that when you're writing journal. You feel that when you are, either if it's in the morning, midday, if you're sad about something, you feel the release into the real world, quote unquote, when you're writing things down. So I had the same this morning personally myself. I had I don't think it was more than 5-10 minutes where I just had in between, I was watching something and I was changing over to, I would start reading my book. I started reading the first line in the book, and that triggered something in me, and then I start writing down, like I wrote a sentence down. So when you can capture yourself in the morning being creative, this is usually where the best ideas are coming from, right? So you touch base a little bit on that thing of like feeling overwhelmed and you don't really know what the next step is, and like being creative and that sort of thing there, right? What I would encourage you to do is basically, I'm not quite sure how you do that specifically right now, but a thing I would encourage you to do, to have either a notebook or have a page on your phone in your notes, call whatever, capture list, idea list, dump list, whatever it's called. This list is basically, it's not to be judged. It's just every single thing that comes into your mind during the day, you dump that on that list there. So if it's make a payment, pay a bill, remember to call her, blue, yellow is a good color for my logo, like whatever it is, you just dump it on that list there. And then every single morning or every single midday, whenever you have time where you actually sit down and look at your task and your things, then you can start cleaning up in that to-do list, right? If it's things that's just a good idea, you can park it over to a good idea list, or if it's things you actually have to execute on in the next 1, 2, 3 days. And that's a really, really great way to sort of like take all that overwhelmed thing out of all the things we have in our head, because our mind is not to be stored things in. It's just too much. So especially, running a business as you're doing that right now, we just need some sort of system that keeps us on track. A system, again, it's back to what I'm talking about every single time. A habit, a system we develop that we can rely on, right? It's like you developing your calendar right now. And like I personally know in the back of my mind, I don't even have to look at my calendar, only if I have specific notes I have to be aware of. But I know basically day for day, what is my block right now at 2:30 or 3:30. It's just a system, right? And that takes all that overwhelmed thing out of it. So we're making sure that we're doing all the right things. What you can do to also make it more understandable for yourself is that you break the things down, and the things that have like a 1-sentence goal, like I do X amount of money in revenue every month, I master, content, blah, 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 because that makes it much more easy and digestible for you to remember and for you to do. The goals you're saying out to yourself, the sentence goals, we talked about it before. If you're not already doing them, I want you to write out these goals there. 3 things you did well in your journal, and then I write here in my notes, big goals, night and morning. So you take your top like 3, 4, 5, 6 goals, big juicy goals, right? That scares you, that inspires you. And then I want to see them every single morning and every single night in your journal. Just write them out. Same thing over and over again. I earn X amount of money. I have the most compelling digital agency company in the world with departments all over the world, like whatever you're writing in there, right? And these lines for line, the big one of them, I want you to write them out as well as listening to them every day. When you drive, when you go from there, that's why like listening to them with some music in the background, set that into the audio file. It just does everything. I'll send you an example of mine here the other time. Remember that? Yeah. You heard that before. Prime your subconscious mind, believe you can do it and you can do it. Like all these sort of things. This is basically the essence of doing it. Because you won't feel anything today. You won't feel anything tomorrow. You probably won't feel anything next year. But I promise you, when you start doing that year after year, like you see your life starts changing just alone from that. You start believe it and you're like, when you're talking with people, you're like, wow, fuck, I am thinking like 10 times wider. Like I'm thinking big, right? And we will always fall short of things, always. So the bigger we can think, the more we will reach, no matter what, So we're just gonna expand that mindset, and I know you got it. I know you got it.